The Last of Us has become a very divisive franchise. What started out as a critically acclaimed and highly successful series has devolved into a cesspool of politics and bad behavior that made fans roll their eyes in frustration. It all started in 2020 when the sequel, The Last of Us Part 2, was released. The game caused quite a stir at launch. It was a multi-layered issue. The press claims it was transphobic backlash against a character, while players complained about the main character, Joel's death. It got quite ugly back in the summer of 2020 as other real-world issues started to heat up. The Last of Us 2 controversy would take the gaming world by storm and forever change how people saw developer Naughty Dog. It was assumed the controversy would end once The Last of Us was adapted for HBO. But that was not the case, as the series caused quite a stir. A stir which has one creative coming after fans. Again. Before we get into that fan bashing and everything else, today's video is brought to you by me, Jeff Hicks, and my graphic novel, Stealing Solo. Stealing Solo asks the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? That, and a whole lot more, is answered in Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. Stealing Solo has been called Laugh Out Loud Funny and the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs, and it's available now for a limited time only. Go to stealingsolo.com, which is powered by Shopify, so you get the reward-winning safety and security, and get yourselves a copy today. Once we sell through this limited backstock, I'm going back to the drawing board to bring you the sequel, which parodies Luke Skywalker's fall from grace, and finally the closing chapter, which I can't wait to get to, Frankenfisher, the Bride of Solo. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. So folks, the only way to get that is go to stealingsolo.com right now, get yourselves a copy, and enjoy the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. The Last of Us debuted on HBO in January of 2023 to much critical acclaim and fanfare. The series, based on the hit PlayStation game, featured Pedro Pascal in the lead role. Season 1 of The Last of Us would garner incredible viewing numbers and be considered a win for HBO. However, one episode of the series would gain much criticism due to a subplot that featured two men in a romantic relationship. The fan backlash has died down, but one creative is still accusing the fans of homophobia months after the series ended. Let's see what this is all about. One episode of the latest zombie apocalypse TV show focused on a couple of middle-aged gay guys survivalists who met and fell deeply in love during the apocalypse. The episode was hit with a backlash. Fans of the show attacked it as filler and unnecessary, and so, because it's the 2020s and Hollywood only hires people who hate their own customers, The Last of Us showrunner is not rethinking how he delivers his product to his customers. No, he's attacking his customers as bigots who don't like all the, quote, gay stuff. He says, some people didn't like episode 3 because, you know, gay stuff, and then they kind of retroactively try to come up with a different and inoffensive reason why, co-creator and showrunner Chris Mazin said in an interview with IndieWire. But one of the complaints I saw was, oh, it's just a filler episode. It doesn't advance the story. And I was like, I think this episode advances the story more than any other episode we have, because it's a plot, it's characters, it's the letter Bill leaves behind to Joel that powers the rest of the show. So as you can see, it's not even possible that this episode was a bad idea. That 3 episodes into your premiere season, people were sincerely put off when you took a pretentious side street. No, it's not the show, that's not the problem. The fans are the problem. More to the point, homophobic fans are the problem. Now, let's step away from that for a minute, but it shouldn't come as a surprise that it's the fans' fault. It's always the fans' fault. If it wasn't for those damn fans, the episode would receive no backlash. Without said fans, the show would receive no viewers either. The real reason the majority of fans complained wasn't homophobia, it was the terrible execution of an actual filler episode in the beginning of the series. Fans complained about this episode straying off from the main plot so early on. That's what the issue is. They don't like it when main characters get sidelined for no reason. On another show, The Mandalorian, fans got upset when the focus was pulled away from the titular character to be put on side characters. One of the lowest rated episodes of the series features a 46-minute detour to Coruscant that focuses on 2 side characters. That audience wasn't angered because of some political rhetoric, they were angry because the characters they wanted to see were sidelined for C-list backup characters. Audiences want the focus to be placed on the main heroes. It's not very difficult to see that, but creators and entertainment want to place the blame elsewhere. Not on their poor work, not on their bad decisions, but the fans. Responsibility is not a word they know the meaning of. They cannot accept the fact that people don't enjoy their detoured plots that focus on elements that aren't important to the audience. Be it in Star Wars, where the main plot stops to focus on the pointless, or in The Last of Us, when it comes at the worst time possible. Love and humanity are always a focal point in the post-apocalyptic genre, but The Last of Us detour felt a little different. It was misplaced. The rhythm of the series was just being set, and then out of nowhere, it was stopped to focus here. The post-apocalyptic series The Walking Dead was also guilty of this. It would stop focusing on the main plot to stretch things over the course of the season, and it was that sort of meandering storytelling that lost audiences forever. Just when you thought you were going to get an earth-shattering reveal, the series stops to focus on something quite random. The Walking Dead used to be a cultural phenomenon, but now it's a has-been. The promise of payoffs that never really came, and the constant stop-start nature killed The Walking Dead. That's the real issue fans had with The Last of Us. It's just starting, and now it's stopping to tell this. When the creators of the show are at odds with the audience, the disconnect is quite obvious, and that's where the real issue is here. However, it's not just isolated to The Last of Us. It's really an issue across all of entertainment. The writers feel entitled to teach an audience something, but the audience doesn't want a lecture. They want entertainment. They want a story that they don't want interrupted to be preached to, no matter the topic or what end of the political spectrum that topic falls into. It's really as simple as that. Fans don't like detours into side stories or filler episodes. Streaming series are notorious for their filler episodes. Anime is too. Fans of all genres hate filler episodes. They're the narrative equivalent of side quests. Don't you just hate when you have to stop the main story and dive into pointless side quests? I know I do. Just when you're about to get to Princess Zelda, you have to stop and go on some stupid side mission that yields you a red rupee. Great. That was time wasted. Side quests suck. Unless the payoff is massive, which it usually isn't, and the result makes players feel like they've wasted their time. Audiences too. That's why even a great show like DBZ has DBZ Kai. It cuts out the pointless filler and presents an abridged version of Dragon Ball Z, though it's sadly not as funny as this.
That doesn't seem right. Wait! Nappa!
What?
I had the scouter upside down. It's over 9,000.
Leaner, more focused shows will play better for today's market. Padding out the world is important, but padding out the show is lazy. Audiences really only care about what's in frame. The mystery of what else is out there adds to the mystique. An offended creator really needs to realize that's the crux of the issue and stop pointing the finger at homophobia or any other insulator. Now I'm going to learn a lesson from my own video and not try to pad this out. It's time for you to tell me what you think down in the comments below. How did you feel about this episode? Actually, how did you feel about The Last of Us in general? No matter how you feel, let us know down in the comments below. I think it's silly that a creator still goes on to blame homophobia. It's really not the issue here. What the issue is here is people like something, they don't like detours, and it just so conveniently happens that the episode is about a gay romance. Of course, there are some people that don't like it, they don't want to see it, they feel it's in every aspect of their entertainment, and they're the audience, and they have valid opinions too. But it's not up to the creators to harp on this months later. The Last of Us debuted in January. It's late August. This article just came out 2 days ago. So this isn't like I'm pulling from the past to try to get something to make. No, this is new, this is fresh, this is from his most recent interview with IndieWire. It is what it is. So folks, if you enjoy content made by people who don't hate their fans, then check out stealingsolo.com today after this video. Stealing Solo answers the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? It was a passion project I was very grateful to be able to make, and now the book is ready for you. So folks, if you enjoy comedy, if you enjoy parody, if you enjoy comics, if you enjoy good entertainment across the board, then Stealing Solo is for you. Limited copies are available, and they keep on moving fast. And folks, like I said, when they're gone, they're gone. And I will go back to the drawing board and work on the sequels, which are incredible, and I can't wait to make them for you. So folks, thank you for watching. I'll be back next time with more. But in the meantime, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other. Thanks for watching today's video. Yes, it's over, but don't cry because there's more, a lot more from World Class Bullshitters. And there's only one way to get it. Hit that subscribe button below. When you do that, you'll get notifications and updates from World Class Bullshitters every time we go live. Basically, you won't miss anything. And if there's one thing I hate, it's FOMO. But the thing most people hate more than FOMO is fear of missing out on World Class Bullshitters, because there's just some things you can't undo. So folks, do yourselves a favor and never miss anything from World Class Bullshitters. One last thing before you go, hit the thumbs up button. Not for our egos, no, they're big enough as this, but it does help us fight the algorithm here, and, well, it's man versus machine, and that's the real fight. But if that's not your battle, That's okay. There's one last way you can help WCBS, and that's going over to shopwcbs.com, picking up a t-shirt, a beer glass, a sweatshirt, a poster, all sorts of ways to back WCBS. The difference between us and other YouTube channels is I'm the artist that makes all this stuff, so if you enjoy art beyond t-shirts, you can even read our comic books. We got it all. We're called the epitome of pop culture for a reason, and no, again, it's not for our egos. So folks, make sure you're involved with every aspect of world-class bullshitters, not just for us, but do it for yourself. We're making the change in entertainment everybody out there wants to see. And a special thank you goes out to all of our wonderful patrons who make this content possible. Go to patreon.com/worldclassbs to get involved and help out the channel.